All right, DJ, we got a few more seconds, man. You ready?
Yes, sir.
All right, well, we got a few more seconds, so you're just going to start right now. Bring us on in.
All right. Bow our heads. Lord, thank you for this day. This is a day that you have made. Allow us to rejoice and be glad in it. Thank you for allowing us to be here to gather and be able to share ideas and have our bright minds be and ideas be made public. Lord, thank you for allowing us to be here, Lord. Watch over us. Allow our ideas to be pleasing in your sight, Lord. Give us confidence to speak our minds. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen, amen. Thank you for that. Can you guys hear me loud and clear?
Yes, sir.
Got me? Okay. Well, sounds great, man. Well, I want to welcome you guys to the That Boy is Smart. We got next. I simply chose you guys because, well, I know most of you. I know all of you, really. I haven't had a chance to meet Leonard yet, but I look forward to that day we meet. And all of you guys exemplify leadership, and I can appreciate that about you, and I see greatness in you. So basically, what I want to do is I want to start off by I'm gonna ask each one of you to give us your name. We want you to give us your parents' name. We want you to name your school you're at, and we also want you to give us your hobby. So I'm gonna start it off. My name is Todrick Johnson. I'm the founder and publisher of Epitome magazine, which is an inspirational publication. It's a national publication. I also am the co-founder of That Boy Smart, along with my wife. I also am the founder of Epitome TV, which is a television network, an internet television network that provides inspirational content. Also have Ambitious, which is my men's organization, which some work that we're putting together so men can be powerful for our community, and so we can just lead by example. So that's me. So Leonard, I want you to tell us your name and give us all your information as well.
All right, cool. I'm Leonard Gant the second. My parents are Leonard Gant and Antoinette Gant. I'm a senior at Eastern High School in Louisville, Kentucky. And you said my hobbies. I love to play basketball, video games, and I'm into fashion too. So
Awesome. So how tall are you, Leonard?
I'm 6'4".
6'4". Okay,
Yes,
that's good, man. That's basketball height.
Yes, sir.
I know Leonard. I know Leonard mother. I went to school with your mother back in Port Gibson, Mississippi. Also know your grandparents. They're great people. So welcome aboard, man. So let's go with you next, Jonathan.
All right. So my name is Jonathon Hill. My parents are Ernest Hill and Joy Hill, and I go to Colorado Early Colleges. It's a concurrent enrollment program in Denver, Colorado. And my hobbies, I like to write poetry, listen to podcasts, music, and play video games.
Awesome. Now, Jonathan, did you say early college?
Yes, sir.
Okay. You've been doing that for you was doing that last year too, right?
Sir, I've been doing it for this will be my third year doing it. So
awesome. So I got an opportunity to hang out with Jonathan I think it was last summer. We got a chance to hang out a little bit and have lunch and all of that great stuff, man. Good kid. Your mother, Jonathan's mother, can sing. She's a real great singer, and your father can preach real good. So Jonathan, welcome, man. All right, let's go with Josh. Let's go with Josh.
All right, so my name is Jeremiah Joshua Dixon. My mom is Yolanda Dixon. My dad is Jerry Dixon. I go to Wakeland High School in Frisco, Texas. And my hobbies, I like to play video games.
Awesome. Now, Joshua, mother is a good friend of mine and my wife. She worked beside us on many different projects that we put together. Great father. Josh also was a part of the Epitome magazine award show and other different things too. So I watch him grow from a little boy to an older guy now. Josh, how tall are you?
I'm probably like 5'10", 5'11".
Yeah, I think I mentioned you about 4'8". Now you're real tall.
Yeah.
Yes, yes, yes. So great parents as well. So Josh, welcome. So DJ, we're gonna end it with you, buddy.
Yes, sir. My name is Danny Donaldson Jr. Go to University Lab School in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. My parents are Sharma Donaldson and Danny Donaldson. And I like to play basketball and I like to play video games.
Okay, okay. Now DJ, how tall are you? Because I remember you and you was probably about 4'8" too.
Right. 6'1".
Oh my God. You shot up overnight, man. So DJ, I've been knowing him for a while too as well. His father is a good preacher, great thinker too as well. Mother is very supportive. They always supported Epitome magazine and my wife and I. So welcome DJ.
Thank you.
So I just wanted all you guys to get an opportunity to meet each other. So Jonathon is in Denver, Colorado. DJ is in Baton Rouge. Josh is in Frisco, around the corner from me. And Leonard is in Kentucky. So all of you guys are representing a different city and a different state. So let's start off with this question right here. DJ, where do you see yourself in 5 years from now?
In 5 years, I see myself about to graduate from architectural school.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Architectural school?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so that's the school you're looking forward to go to?
Yes, sir.
Okay, what's the name of the school?
I haven't really decided yet. I'm looking at a few colleges right now. Just seeing which one best fits me, so I don't really know yet.
Okay, okay. What about you, Jonathon? 5 years from now, where you see yourself?
In 5 years, I see myself graduating law school and starting to work as an associate for a law firm.
Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. So do you already have the school in mind that you're looking forward to being at?
I have a couple schools in mind. I've been getting some attention from specific schools, but I haven't chosen a specific one yet.
Okay, okay. Sounds great. So Leonard, 5 years from now, where do you see yourself?
I see myself owning my own streetwear brand while attending an HBCU, probably studying like entrepreneurship or business administration.
Okay, okay. So
Yes, sir.
I heard something that was good because I'm an entrepreneur myself. So you have an entrepreneur spirit in you, huh?
Yes, sir.
Okay, okay. So as far as schools, you said HBCU. Why HBCU and what HBCU do you plan on going to?
Well, my whole life, I've lived in predominantly like white areas, and I just want to be around my people. Really, that's pretty much the reason why I want to go to HBCU.
Okay.
And my top three right now are Howard University, Hampton, and FAMU.
Okay, awesome, awesome. Now I used to live close. I used to live in Florida, so I live close to FAMU. I kind of grew up around Alcorn State University. I don't know if you ever heard of that place, have you?
Oh, and definitely have.
Okay, well that's awesome. That's awesome. So Joshua, 5 more years from now, where do you see yourself?
I see myself advancing in my animation career, going out in the world and putting some food on my plate while I maybe earn some cash doing some animation.
Okay, okay, that's awesome, man. That's awesome. So do you plan on going to school for animation or?
Yeah, I'm mostly self-taught, but I plan to learn more and go to school for that.
Okay,
Maybe.
okay. Do you already know what school you plan on going to? Is it in the Dallas-Fort Worth area or is it out of state?
I don't know what school I plan to go to. I mean, I don't know which one's best. It's kind of like in between. But I do know that the more practice, the more better I get at it, then the better chances of me being able to become big and join up with the big corporations.
That's awesome. That's awesome. All of you guys gave some awesome answers. Let me start with Leonard. Leonard, what are some of the things that you're doing so far to reach towards your goals?
Well, right now I'm still in high school, so just try to keep my GPA up. Got a 23 on the ACT, studied hard for that. So I'm trying to earn some scholarships and stuff like that. So my parents don't have to pay for college. And for my streetwear brand, I'm in the making of the name and the brand and stuff right now. So yeah, that's
Okay, so right now you putting the name and everything together.
yes, sir.
That's
Me and my
good.
one of my close friends are working on it together.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So may I ask, what is your GPA? I know you brought that up.
My GPA right now is a 3.7.
Oh man, that's awesome. That's awesome. Great job. Great job.
Thank you.
Keep up the good work. So Jonathan,
Currently, I kind of alluded to it earlier. Working in a concurrent enrollment program, so I can kind of advance my education time, I guess, be the phrase. So currently, I'm taking all college classes, and in terms of college credits, I would be considered a sophomore in college right now. So that's kind of my uh, goal right now, and kind of my progression is just trying to knock out college as fast as possible for free. So kind of keep my parents out of it from having to dig in their wallets, and as
yeah.
well as advance myself and keeping
Okay.
GP as well.
Man, that's awesome. That's awesome. Let me ask you something, Jonathan. Do you see any preaching in your future? You don't see that?
No, I'm more of the business sense. I'm more interested in that than preaching.
And the reason I asked because his father is a preacher, so that's why I asked him that. So, DJ, what about you, sir?
Yes, sir. I'm taking my education more seriously. Really had a good semester this year. Also, researching colleges that I would like to go to. HBCUs, other schools, just give me the best opportunity to showcase what I could do. And also participating in sports to help me build character skills, humility. Um, Also, just pick my grandfather's brain a little bit because he was an architect when he was coming up. So just learning little things, asking them certain questions, and just trying to learn all I can.
Yeah, man. You know, architect is very important because the buildings that we see, they have a lot to do with those, man.
Right.
That's a great profession too because they make some good money.
Yes, sir.
Oh yeah, you already know that, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, Josh.
Uh,
What about you, sir? Are
the
you
things
working
I've
towards your
done.
goals?
So my goal is to make it up into the big corporations where I can, like big companies like Epic Games or something like that, where people there's a lot of people working on one project, and I just want to be a part of the team. And so something that I've done to reach that is I've mostly self-taught, but like whenever I look at other things, I'm like, well, how do they make that? And I wonder like the bigger picture on like how it was done and what do I need to do to get better and accomplish that.
Yes, yes, man. That's good. That's good. You know what? I heard all of you guys' answers, and that says a lot about your parents too, as well. That your parents are doing a great job paying attention to what you guys are doing and letting you choose what you want to do and supporting you. And I can see that in all of you guys. So all I want to say is congratulations on that, man, and just continue to listen to your parents and just keep going forward too, as well. So um, now. Now, I know you're in school. You've been in school for a long time. Of course, this is your last year. How do you deal with peer pressure? Jonathan, tell us how do you deal with peer pressure? Now, and another reason I want to say this too is because um, back when we were in school and your parents was in school, we didn't have to deal with Facebook. We didn't have to deal with Instagram. We didn't have to deal with YouTube, any of that. You know what I'm saying? So it's a lot of things on there that might not be good for you. Also, now something that we had to deal with that you guys probably deal with is different kids in school trying to pressure you to do different things you're not supposed to do. So Jonathan, how do you deal with peer pressure?
Okay, well, I've learned that my experience has kind of been out of the normal. I've kind of learned to understand about myself that I'm pretty stubborn. and it has both its positives and negatives. When it comes to negative peer pressure, it can be a positive trait because I've kind of came up with certain morals and standards that I'm going to abide by. And unless I determine that that other aspect or that other decision is better, I normally don't step off of those principles. So I think that that stubbornness can also be negative because when talking about positive peer pressure and people trying to influence you to do good things, I think that maybe that stubbornness might stifle me in certain aspects from getting advice from other people. I think that stubbornness has helped me.
Do you ever find yourself like some of the people that you with kind of leading them and say, hey, don't do that, or you shouldn't say this, or different things like that?
Yeah, I think that's kind of the role that I've kind of fell into with all of my friends, no matter whether, because I've lived in Texas before and I've lived here, so I have friends from both states, and that's kind of my role in both of the relationships with those groups of friends, is that I've kind of put myself in the position where I feel like my role is to make sure everybody's on their feet, everybody's doing what they need to be doing as well, and holding me accountable as well.
Okay, awesome. So Joshua, how do you deal with peer pressure?
So I don't really deal with peer pressure all that much because, I don't really listen to all that much people, but whenever I make a choice, I think about the pros and cons, and I'm like, is it going to be bad for someone around me, someone close? Do I want it to ruin someone's day or ruin someone's life? And I'm like, well, if it's going to do that, then I'm not going to do it.
Yes. That's good, man. Also, Joshua, you have, just like I said earlier, the social media, some of the things you see on social media, some of the things that you can easily get involved with. And from the way you sound, you have control of yourself that you won't even go that route or that direction. So,
Right.
Yes, sir. That's good. So, Leonard, how do you deal with peer pressure?
Well, for me, simply just sticking to my morals. If it's something that I feel as if wouldn't benefit me, or just something I wouldn't see myself doing, then I just say no. You know what I'm saying? And usually, like, with people I hang out with, they can respect that. But if you're hanging out with people and you say no and they don't respect that, then I just feel like you shouldn't be hanging around with them.
Oh, okay. Then you just choose someone else to be around, and you just let them go, huh?
Yes, sir.
That's right. What about you, DJ?
Mine is similar to what Leonard said, just holding yourself to a higher standard, if people around you see that you're living to a higher standard and you won't tolerate different things, they're going to respect it over a period of time. And also, you just got to stop thinking about and caring about what people say, their opinion shouldn't have any weight in your life. It's about what you want to do, what makes you happy. So as long as you have that mindset about what they say don't really matter to you, there's nothing that can really stop you in controlling your own destiny.
That's awesome. Now, all of you guys are giving some great answers, man. I'm really enjoying this. You guys giving some great answers. So let me ask you this, and I'm gonna start this. I'm gonna go back to you, DJ. I'm gonna start this with you. If you could give parents advice on how to raise a successful Black male, what advice would you give them?
I would say, first off, put God in the forefront, because God is just the foundation of everything. You get your strength, your guidance, your wisdom, your sanity from Him. So as long as you have God as a solid foundation, you're on the right track right there. Second, you have to teach the importance of character. Character is not only what you do around people, but what you do when people actually aren't looking, which is really important. Also, structure and discipline. Structure is make sure you spend time with your kids, quality time, make them feel like you could talk to them about anything, because you can. And discipline, doing what needs to be done when it's supposed to be done, no matter how you feel. That's just being a Black man, being a man, period. That's just one of the qualities you have to develop.
Wow. That's awesome, man. Let me ask you, DJ. That's a great answer, man, that you just gave. Now I know your father is a pastor too, as well. Do you see any preaching in your future?
I don't really see much preaching in my future. I'm gonna keep it real. But I always want to be involved in ministry and outreach, and still, of course, involved in the church.
Yeah. Yeah, because ministry is more than just preaching, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Okay. Well, Joshua, I'm gonna go with you with this question too as well. If you could give parents advice on how to raise a successful Black male, what advice would you give them?
I would say that support is the biggest and most important part. You want to make sure your son knows that you support them and that they could come out with anything. They could trust you as parents. And I think that support is sometimes lacking in those families, but it's really, really, really important, and it could be detrimental.
Wow, you know what? I hope everybody is paying attention to what you guys are saying, because we are on Zoom, we're recording it, and we're also on Facebook, and people got an opportunity to hear what you guys are saying. So I hope they're paying attention to that, because he said something very important. Support is the key, and I like that. So Leonard, what advice would you give?
Well, first I would say make sure you teach your kids to love themselves, because self-love is so important. Because if you don't love yourself, then nobody can love you. Like, it's little things like just saying, like, you know, you're handsome, or you're worth it. You know what I'm saying? Like that really does stuff to kids, especially when they're little, because when they grow up, my parents told me that when I was a kid, so they truly believe it. Another thing is what Josh was saying, support. You gotta have support. Support is really key. So I would say those two things.
Wow, that's a great answer, Leonard. Thank you so much. Jonathan, what advice would you give?
So I kind of boiled it down to three things that I think parents should instill in their child when they're trying to raise a successful Black male. So the first thing would be self-reflection. I think that it's important to constructively and constantly constructively reflect on yourself, because I think the ultimate goal is to be able to surround yourself with people who are like-minded and want to help you grow, and vice versa. And I think it's hard to do that when you're not able to self-reflect on yourself, or even the environments or the relationships that you have surrounding you. I think the second thing that parents should instill is self-discipline. You have to understand that being a Black man in America means operating in a world that is designed to upset and frustrate you constantly, and as well as give you double standards that maybe your white counterparts don't have to live in. And I think that a successful Black man is able to understand those emotions, but contain and control those emotions, and also flourish within those double standards and create an environment in which he builds something great. And then the last one I said was a free perspective. I think that Blackness, as I've seen it, and typically around people my age that I've heard from, is that Blackness as a boy is kind of seen as simply either you're making music or you're playing a sport. And I think that that's very detrimental and harmful to a Black boy mentally. And I've had to sit down some days and ask myself, why is being a Black nerd odd? And I think it's because of the perspective that when we label Blackness. And I think that it's extremely important to instill the mindset in the Black male that he has unlimited potential and he can do anything. And I think that, in fact, is the most important thing to instill in the child.
Wow, man. All you guys gave great answers. Jonathan, thank you for that. You know, I got to go back myself and look at this, man, because you guys are giving some great answers. Let me ask you something, DJ. What's the last book you read? You know, your father, I heard him say one time, he talked about your library, making sure you got some good books in your library. So what's the last book you read, or what book are you reading right now?
The last book I read was this past school year. Is The Come Up. I forgot who wrote it, but it was a really good book. Really good book.
Can you give us a small description about it?
Yes. There's this girl. She's her dad was an underground rap legend, so she's just feeling the pressures of trying to make it in the rap game, also trying to like stay out of the way of danger. Like, I think the setting was Chicago, and just trying to stay out of trouble. She runs into some problems. People trying to slander her name. Just a matter of trying to stay afloat.
Okay, awesome. That's good. That's good, DJ. Jonathan, I know you're a reader, man, because we talked about some books. We talked about some books last summer. So what's the latest book you're reading?
Well, the last book I read was The 48 Laws of Power. I didn't read it in totality, but kind of just looking at individual laws. And then I actually have a book that's supposed to come in tonight. It's called Powernomics by Dr. Claude Anderson, and it specifies solutions in trying to solve systemic racism.
Man, that's awesome. Leonard, what about you? Is there any books you're reading right now?
Yes. So the last book I read was with me and my dad. We read, I think it's called $1 Million Slave. I think that's what it's called.
Okay.
And I forgot who by, but it's about professional athletes working for pretty much the white man. You know what I'm saying? The owners of these big teams, and it was just giving a breakdown of that. So yeah.
That's good, man. Joshua, what about you?
I haven't read a book in a while, actually.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember what the last book I read was, but I do know that it was about slavery and how Black people were enslaved and how we were dealing with it and how we had to fight it, and it was all about the struggle. That was what the book was about.
Man, that's good. I'm gonna tell you, myself, you guys are doing great, because when I was your age, I didn't read a book. I didn't read books or anything like that. I read books once I got to be an adult. But you guys are doing great, and continue to read these books and give you knowledge, and it's going to always give you something you can use. So great job on that. How are you guys handling the pandemic right now? Leonard, how are you handling the pandemic?
Honestly, it's been tough on me because this is my senior year, so I was supposed to go crazy in AAU this year, you know what I'm saying, get my name out there, and I can't do it. I mean, canceled everything, so I've been at the house working. I got a hoop outside, so every day I wake up in the morning, work out, train a little bit, so that's what I've been doing.
That's good. What about you, DJ?
Same as Leonard. Senior year basketball is trying to go have a good year. Which not really sure we're gonna have a year this year, but however it goes, just staying at home, just trying to stay ready. Getting shots, so working out with my dad, just trying to stay ready. Couldn't get to a gym, so backyard gym gonna have to be just fine for now.
That's good. At least you're doing something. What about you, Joshua?
I'm making it work. I been okay, not too bad, not too good. Staying at home it's not really the worst thing that could happen. It's actually not that bad. You just gotta know what you gotta do to keep up the same progress you were doing before when you could actually go outside.
So you're probably working on your craft a lot, right? Animation?
You're right.
Okay.
I've been doing a lot of practicing my animations. I've been doing a lot of stuff in Unity and stuff like that.
Awesome. Jonathan, what are you doing?
I think the pandemic it's been an interesting situation. It wasn't really that bad to begin with, but I think that as the summer came and do certain internships and wanting to look at certain schools, I think it kind of hurt because you can't really go on campuses to see them, and certain internships that I was getting ready to do had to be postponed or suspended because of the lack of being able to meet in person. But my main thing with the pandemic is I just hope we can do some sort of in-person schooling, because this online schooling thing wasn't really for me.
Yes. I understand. Well, I have some words that I'm gonna give each one of you, and I want when I mention the word, I want you to give me your best definition of it, or give me your best definition of the word that I give you. And Joshua, I'm gonna start with you. Success. What does that mean to you?
Success. I mean, for me personally, it means accomplishing your goals, getting to the point that you want to get to, something that you've worked towards. and that you can happily say that you have succeeded in doing whatever that is.
Mm-hmm. That's good. That's good. That's good. So, DJ, ambitious.
Ambitious. I would say that's just the hunger that you get from doing what you want to do, trying to get where you need to get, no matter what it costs. Just constantly having that in front of your mind, just not giving up until you get what you want.
That's good. That's good. Leonard, greatness.
Greatness. Greatness, I would say, terms of me, greatness would be like nobody can touch you. Like you've made it so high in life, or you've done what you wanted to do, and you're at a point where it's like I don't see what else I could do to make my life even better, or to become greater. Greatness, correct? Yeah. So yeah, that's what I would say.
Greatness. That's right. That means you're the best. You put your all into it. That's good. That's good.
Facts.
So, Jonathan, American dream.
American dream.
Yeah, the American dream.
I would define the American dream as, it might sound a little morbid, but I would kind of define the American dream as a fictionary tale. That's kind of how I look at it, is that it's a fictionary tale that was designed to spark energy and bring people together and bring some sort of pride. But I think that in my view of the American dream, it's kind of became this fictional tale that doesn't exist.
Okay. So do you think that all of us are working towards the American dream? Do you think that has something to do with success, greatness, and ambitious?
I think it depends because the other three guys here, they all had their own definitions for those three words, and I bet that if we asked each other, like our definitions for each of those words individually, we might come with different answers. Yeah. And so I think it's hard to formulate what the American dream is for me in comparison to what it might be for Danny or Leonard or Josh, because our definitions of the things leading up to the American dream might be different.
Yes. Sounds great. What do you think about that, Leonard?
He hit it spot on.
Hit it spot on? Yeah. DJ, you got something to say about that?
Nothing to say. Said it perfectly.
What about you, Joshua?
Man, he's inspiring.
That's good. Okay. Well, we all know that our communities are very important, especially during this day and time with all the different things that's going on. We want to see our community flourish. We want to see our community grow. We want to see our community give more opportunities. So my question now is, what are some of the changes you would like to see in the Black community? Joshua, you can answer that first.
So some of the changes I'd like to see is us Black people stop throwing hate at other Black people. We need to stop fighting each other. We just need to work together, solve our problems, and hopefully it'll solve, all of our problems about, police brutality and all that stuff. We just got to work together and stop trying to fight everything that we see.
Man, that's a great answer, Joshua. I love this because we as adults and parents, we get an opportunity to hear this come about our community comes from you young guys' mouths, man. So I'm enjoying this right here. DJ, what do you think?
I would say just trying to do little things here and there to develop a greater sense of community. Like we're in this together. Things such as growing our Black communities. Like the white man wants to redline us and keep us together. We need to stay together. That's the thing though, because we're stronger together. And also we need to create wealth amongst each other, more Black businesses. The more Black businesses we have, the more time we could change the dollar hand in hand with each other, the more we can create wealth amongst ourselves. We don't need any outside corporations or nothing like that. And also we need better access to healthcare, you know, because health is wealth. If you're not healthy, you're not happy. So as long as we have that, that's basically it.
Man, that's good. That's good, DJ. That's good. Jonathan, what do you do to change the community? What are the changes you like to see in the community?
My thought is kind of similar with the ones that have already been spoken. I think the main change I would like to see is an improved level of togetherness. I'd love to live in a society where Black people rely strictly on our own businesses to thrive within our everyday lives. Or if we're living in our communities and there might be a company that's not Black owned there, but if they're doing something wrong or damaging our community, I'd love to see a society in where we quickly put them out of business because we understand how group economics works and centralized banking works. I think the last thing when it comes to togetherness that I want to see is a community that places an emphasis on family and actually acts on it in the same manner that we did 60 years ago, because that's how we improve our youth.
Yes, that's good, Jonathan. Great answer, man. And you know what you said about putting people out of business that's not doing good for your community. That's one of the things that we could surely do because we have the power, we have the money. You know what I'm saying? We have it, so we can do that. That wouldn't be no problem at all. We just have to put our minds together to do it. Leonard, what would you like to see changed?
I would like to see us teach our younger generation about entrepreneurship, because money is power, and I feel like if we're on top of the economics in America, we can make a big change for our community and for our people. So,
Man, that's good. That's good. All of you guys gave great answers. Thank you so much. Well, let me come back. I'm gonna come back to you, Leonard, on this, and then we want to go around. What will it take to make the Black community safer? You know how sometimes people say, "Oh, I'm not going to go there. I'm scared to go there," or "This is happening in that community," and Black on Black crime, all those different things. What will it take to make the community safer?
well, I would first say we need more police that look like us or that can relate to us in our communities, because that's one of the reasons why people have a bad look on us, because of the crime and all the things going on in there. What happens is white cops who've never been around Black people come to these neighborhoods, and they're fear, like they fear us. Fear leads to killings of Trayvon Martin and Michael Brown and Tamir Rice. So I feel like we just need to get more Black police officers in our communities, and I think that's the start of it.
Okay. What about you, Joshua?
I'm gonna kind of build on top of what he said, but it's basically like it's most of the problem is fear, and they don't know how to cope with fear. They don't know how to act, and so they say like they'll start saying things or doing things that they probably wouldn't do if they weren't scared. And I think that most of the problem is experience. They're inexperienced and they need more experience, and they need to know, like, they need to look at how we feel and how they feel and then act properly on the situation. It's more of like a mindset type of thing than anything else.
Okay. DJ.
Building up what they say, relations between the community and police, that's really big. Because if police don't understand what's happening in that community, not being in that community every day, seeing the people, knowing the people, they'll be more influenced to make quick decisions rather than, oh, I know them, so let's talk to them and just work something out. And also more aftercare programs like after school sports or camps where people can go and have like a safe haven rather than just run the streets and possibly get into trouble. And also, like I said on the last question, more community events like gatherings, barbecues, just like we have now, just talking to each other, selling our differences rather than with violence, and just talk to each other.
Okay. Good, great answer, DJ. Jonathan.
Okay, so I kind of interpreted this question a little differently. So I kind of boiled it down to two things. So the first thing was rebuilding the rebuilding of Black families, and the second one was the reduction of Black poverty. So with the rebuilding of Black families, it's known that family is one of the most important functions in a kid's life. In fact, statistics show that you can accurately project the outcome of a child's life simply by looking at the presence of their parents. And I think that over the past 60 years, we've kind of eradicated the importance of family within the Black community, especially in relation to raising a child. And I think this is an issue that is being attacked within the Black community and without it. For example, the government creates welfare programs that incentivize people to not marry or not live in the same household in return for benefits. And this in itself is a twofold problem, because first we have to understand that the government does things to harm Black families. And the second thing is we have to understand that we have created a culture which ignores the importance of an intact household, a principle that wasn't present 60 years ago. And then I also think the rebuilding of Black families will significantly cut down on gang activity. Reports and studies have showed that a lot of men or boys at the time join gangs because they have this void of family. And I think that by filling this void at home with intact and healthy families, that maybe we'll see a lack of gang participation and quote unquote unsafe activities. And then the reduction of Black poverty. It's known also that crimes are more likely to take place in impoverished areas by impoverished people. And sadly, a significant number of Black people operate in both of those categories. And I think by solving Black poverty within Black communities, you would expect to see safer communities as well.
Wow, man. So you said we need to rebuild the Black family. Well, let me ask you this. What you guys think about jobs? Don't you think jobs make a Black community much safer? Y'all think about that? What do you think about that, Jonathan?
I think that goes along with the reduction of Black poverty. I think that the opposite of poverty is having people being able to work and sustain wealth. Yeah. And so I think that those kind of go hand in hand with each other.
Yes. So Leonard, what you think about the drug activity that goes on in the community?
It's terrible. But I feel like the only reason that happens and drugs become a thing in the Black community is because we can't get jobs. So once we act on that and put more jobs in our communities, I feel like drugs and crime will slowly go away.
Yeah. So you're saying that if people can't find employment, what they do instead, they gotta sell drugs. Yeah. Okay. What about you, DJ? What you think about that?
Yeah, I agree. If Black people had better opportunities to start businesses from working jobs and actually have opportunity rather than sell drugs, because selling drugs is just there because we don't have the opportunity to start our own business or work solid jobs. So we have to resort to the streets.
Yeah. So Joshua, some people think that selling drugs is a job. You know what I'm saying? If they can't find employment anywhere else. What you think?
I think that most of it is lack of opportunity. If we had the opportunity, if we had the resources, and if we had just like the right mindset, it's most like locational based, but sometimes it's the lack of family, and it's a lot of things really that adds up to it. But I think that if we give everyone the right, I guess you could say experience, it's like a buildup of your past, and it causes you to do things that you wouldn't normally do in certain situations.
Well, that's good, man. That's good. All you guys gave some great answers, and I want you, as you go further in your career, I want you guys to always remember that the community needs you. You all gave great answers, and you all can benefit the communities can benefit on you guys coming to help too as well. So that's good. I'm glad you think like that. So for the last few months, we've been dealing with, well, the last couple of months, we've been dealing with uh, racial intense moments. We was dealing with George Floyd. I know all of you guys heard about that, and all the other different people, Breonna Taylor in Kentucky, and Ahmaud Arbery, different people like that. So I felt that it was important to kind of talk to you about racial injustice and kind of get your point of view about some of the things that's been going on. So my question now is, do you feel safe as a young African-American male? DJ, do you feel safe as a young African-American male? And once you answer that, I want you to tell me why you don't feel safe.
Yes, I do not feel safe. 100% don't, because I experience it now. Just driving in my car, I see the police in my rear view. Like, I double take a little bit, just make sure there's nothing out of place, because I don't want any confrontation. I shouldn't have to think about whether if I get pulled over or not, am I going to lose my life? That shouldn't be something I have to think about every day. And also, I shouldn't have like prejudices made against me, like just for the color of my skin. Like, you don't even know me. Like, I could be the greatest guy, greatest person you ever met, but just because you see the color of my skin, you think something crazy, which I really think is unfair.
Yeah, great answer, great answer. Jonathan, what about you? Do you feel safe as a young African-American male?
No. When I heard the question at first, my initial thought was, well, why would I feel safe? Because I have to understand that since my conception, I was destined to be placed in an underclass which can be killed physically with impunity, murdered spiritually without question, and enslaved mentally. And no part of that existence is safe.
Wow, that's true. Joshua, what about you? Do you feel safe?
I feel safe, but only because I look around in this area and I don't see anything happening. I don't see a lot of the things that are happening around the world that in Frisco, it's mostly, maybe a little accident, car accident or something. But it's nothing too bad, I should say. It's nothing like racial injustice here in Frisco. But if I ever left Frisco, then I would feel unsafe.
So you feel that, I live in Frisco too, so you feel that the Frisco community is doing a great job on racism? Is that what you're saying? Or?
I guess from where my field of view, my point of view is, I feel safe because I haven't had to deal with it yet. Okay. But I look around and I see things happening all around the world and I'm like, well, this is crazy. This needs to stop. And for the most part here in Frisco, I feel like I can, I could probably even walk around at night and not have to worry about anything.
Okay. Leonard, do you feel safe?
Definitely not. Just like Jonathan was saying, America, I have no reason to feel safe. America has given me no reason to feel safe. It's come to the point where you don't even have to be doing anything crime related to cause attention to yourself. It's just the color of your skin. A couple months ago, my friend was playing basketball at his own house, and the cop pulled up and asked him, "Yo, do you live here? Like, are you serious? Like, do I live here? Like, it's just crazy, man. It's just crazy." And it doesn't even have to be about injustice. Like, you can't even go to your church anymore or Kroger without having a fear of, or the movies without having the fear of getting like shot or stuff like that. So no, I don't feel safe at all.
Well, what do you guys think about, and I want to come to all of you, what do you guys think about the way you dress? Do you think the way you dress should play a big part in racial discrimination? What about you, Jonathan? Do you think that?
I mean, in a perfect world, no, but I have to understand that we don't live in a perfect world. And
Yeah.
so your appearance does matter. When people look at you, they're already going to have a preconceived notion of you. And so I think that the best thing to do is understand that and operate within that, so thrive within that. If I understand that if I go outside wearing a do-rag, I might be perceived as a thug, but so I have to navigate that way. And is it fair or not? I guess it's not fair, but that's the world we live in.
Yes, yes, yes. Leonard, we'll go back to you. What do you think about that?
Just like Jonathan was saying, in a perfect world, it shouldn't matter, but in America, it does matter. I was raised no do-rag in public, no hood in public, just off of public perspective, because you don't want people to think that you're, how do you say, you're a threat. You're a threat. And yeah, so nah, it definitely matters.
Joshua?
I do think appearances matter because, you look at someone and, you see like their uncut hair, you see like they look like they're either like homeless or a drug addict. And that's the first thing you're going to think is like, wow, this person's like probably doing something really bad, or wow, this person's, not having a great life right now. And I think that appearances really shouldn't matter. I think you should get to know the person first. But, America, it's not just America, it's the world. It happens all around the world, and it's just like, it's like first impressions, and it really matters because it changes a lot of things, and things pop into people's heads, and it can go any direction.
Yes, yes. DJ, we can end that with you.
Yes. Like I said, in a perfect world, it shouldn't matter because today, if I were to walk outside with a pair of Air Force Ones on, jeans, and a T-shirt, they could put me they could stereotype me, have prejudice against me. But if a white guy would walk out there, that feel like, oh, look at the white boy. But yeah, it doesn't make sense. It shouldn't be like that. Honestly, I should be able to wear what I want. But yeah, like I said, it's America, so of course, it's just not gonna add up.
Yeah. Now, James Baldwin, he gave a quote, and the quote said, "It is certain in any case that ignorance aligned with power is the most furious enemy justice can have." So by saying that, let me ask you, do you think ignorance is the root cause of prejudice and injustice? Joshua, can you answer that first?
I would say that ignorance is one of the biggest causes, but I think it's also other things like unexperience and stuff like the lack of the experience to deal with it, the lack of a coping mechanism. It's like a buildup, and you throw away those emotions towards someone or something, and usually that's us Black people. And I think that is one of the biggest issues that needs to be solved around our world, around the earth.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Oh, good. That's a great answer. DJ, what are your thoughts on that?
I do think ignorance is the root of prejudice because coming out of the womb, you don't know color, you don't know race. It's taught from the household, taught from generations back. And since you're ignorant enough to pick up that and judge people based off of that, ignorance is the root of prejudice. And yeah, that's all I have to say.
So you think a lot of the things that we're going through now from some of the people that that's our age or younger, you think that they was taught?
Yeah, most definitely. Because if a 5-year-old white girl hasn't been told anything, she could play with a Black girl and just think, nothing, not a care in the world. That's my best friend. Like, but she go home the next day, mama tell her something, and now she don't want to play with her no more. That's it.
And she carries that through life.
Right. Pass it down.
Yes, yes, yes. Leonard, what you think about that?
Danny hit it spot on, man. It's ignorance is passed down from generation to generation, and I feel like it's our job as Black men to educate our white counterparts on these things, because they don't understand and they don't know what they're talking about. Another thing is they've never experienced it, so they definitely don't understand why we're so furious over the George Floyd killing or stuff like that. So yeah, I definitely think that ignorance is the root to prejudice, and it's yeah, that's it.
Okay, awesome. Jonathan, what do you think?
No, I don't. Ignorance is touching the stove because you don't know it's hot.
Okay.
But what do you call the action of constantly punching someone in the face knowing it's wrong?
Mhm.
I label that as evil. And I would say that evilness is the root of that root. Now, when looking for the root of racial injustice and prejudice within the Black community towards the Black community, I would say the root is slavery, because over generations we were taught to not trust each other. We were given reasons to hate each other, and those lessons still persist because slavery transcends physicality. Now, we don't get to use we don't get to use slavery as like some sort of excuse. Like it's slavery. Like we don't get to say that.
Yeah.
Just as we don't excuse a man for beating his wife because he saw that same thing happen to his mother.
Mm-hmm. And that happens a lot. So, so yeah, you're right about that. No excuses. Well, you guys, I don't want to keep you that much longer. You guys have all gave some great answers, but I did give you guys the last question, and I want you to answer that. And from there, we're gonna let Jonathan pray us out, and we're gonna end it there. So, Joshua, I'm gonna give you this question. Name a person that inspires you, and tell us why that person inspired you. And we want you to kind of talk.
I don't have a specific person. It's more like a type of person.
Okay.
You know, I see my friends. Sometimes they do some things good. Sometimes they do some things bad. You know, no person is perfect, but you can look at someone, and you could understand that person after talking to them a little bit, and you can see that some of your ideals are the same. Mostly that's me and my friends. I take different parts of my friends and piece them together as like what all I like about them and their ideals, and I put them together from my own ideals, and I take like different ideas from different things, and I build up. It's like creating up my own path and creating up like what I like to do, and it's really specific for me and other people, because there's no one that's out there that's perfect, but I do know that, you know, you can get pretty close to something that's like pretty much like really on the spot.
Okay, great answer, good answer. Leonard, let's go with you next.
One person that really inspires me is Kobe Bryant. Rest in peace, Kobe. But Kobe's work ethic is so desirable. Stayed in the gym for long hours, and perfected his craft just for one goal, and that's to be the greatest. And I've been through a lot during high school with my basketball career, and one thing that's always kept me pushing is just knowing, like, if I put the work in, anything is possible. I can prove everybody wrong, everyone that doubted me. If I just put the work in and do my best, I can't ask for more than that.
Hey Leonard, we're here, man. I'm a big Kobe fan. Fan. So we right there, man. So you got the Mamba mentality then.
Have to, got to.
That's good. Jonathan, what about you?
Okay. So a lot of people inspire me, and usually I'll find a specific reason for me being inspired by them. So, but I'll just say 3 people. So I'll start with my father. My dad inspires me because he's taught me how to successfully pivot. I've watched my dad be able to reinvent himself and grind so that he can achieve and attain for his family. Yeah. And that was kind of a lesson that I garnered from watching him. Another person that inspires me is my mom. She inspires me daily because I see the constant perseverance and strength that she holds to better herself every day, physically and spiritually, physically, spiritually, and mentally. And that's another trait that I've garnered. And lastly, my brother inspires me. I've seen him in the midst of 4 years build his life around a dream he started his junior year in high school. And I've seen the work ethic that he has had to exude to formulate the environment he has successfully molded. And there's a lot of other people that inspire me, but I'll just stick with those three.
Man, that's awesome. That's awesome, Jonathan. Thank you so much. DJ, who inspired you?
Stephen Curry, man. That's my guy right there.
Yes.
Just being dedicated to your craft, really working, even when the odds are against you. Coming out of a small school, Davidson, wasn't really hot on anybody's radar. Tore it up in March Madness, got to the 7th pick. Still doubted him, had a lot of obstacles, ankle problems early in his career, but still kept fighting, kept God first, puts him in the middle of everything, which I really love about him. Puts in his family, love his family, great wholesome environment for what I see, and just keeps grinding and keeps working like he's still got something to prove, even though he's accomplished so many great things in his career.
That's good. That's good, DJ. DJ, I see greatness in you. Josh, I see greatness in you. Leonard, I see greatness in you. Jonathan, I see greatness in you. And I think our world is going to be a better place that now that you guys are here, and I know you guys are going to put a stamp on the community, on racism, on you guys are going to do everything you need to do to help this world become a better place. And I appreciate all of you. I appreciate you taking time out of your busy schedules. I know you're getting ready for school, you're getting into your new year, and I really appreciate you guys taking time out of your busy schedules just to hang out with me with this great conversation. And another thing I want you to do is I want all of you, when you get your first grades, I want all of you should have my email address. I want to see your grades. I want to see your progression for the whole year and see what you guys are doing. I want you guys to be a part of That Boy Smart. And in a couple of weeks, I'm going to send all of you applications to get for scholarships. So we want you guys to be a part of that and go through the application so we can, so when it's time for you guys to go to college, that we can help provide some scholarship money for you. Again, thank you so much for taking the time out to be with us, and thank your parents too as well. Jonathan, if you could take us out, man, this is it right here. Thank you very much.
All right, so I appreciate if everybody bowed their head with me. Dear Heavenly Father, we thank you for this day and allowing us to see another day. I thank you for allowing all of us to come here and have a productive conversation and a fruitful conversation. And I hope that with our voices, we've been able to change people's minds and improve people's states. And maybe this conversation was needed for us individually and kind of some sort of a therapy session to kind of go through and evolve through the struggles of life. And I thank you for allowing us to have this opportunity. I pray that everyone here and everyone watching has a sustained level of health and improved level of health, and that no hurt, harm, or danger will come by any of us. And that I pray that we all have a productive rest of the year and productive life as we continue to live. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen, amen. Again, thank you guys. I appreciate you, and we'll talk soon, okay?
All right. So, thank
All
you.
right. All right.